G'day everyone and welcome back to the channel. I just want to quickly mention that the channel has been accepted into the YouTube Partner Program, so big thanks to you guys for that. As you probably know, making videos like this can be quite time consuming and actually pretty expensive. So if you're able to, please consider becoming a member of the channel and supporting the content we create. We really want to raise the bar of airsoft content on YouTube, and your support is going to be really essential for us to be able to do that. I think we got a really interesting video for you guys today. A couple of months ago, we were invited by the Recon Brothers, the Belgian YouTubers, to attend a CQB course that they had organized. The course is taught by ex-Special Forces operators and is held at a really cool military and police training facility in Belgium. It was a really great weekend and I think we both really learned a lot. But I do have my doubts about certain things in regards to these kinds of courses for airsofters. But first, I'll just give the Recon Brothers a chance to introduce themselves and tell you what they're hoping to do with these courses.
So hey guys, we are Recon Brothers. My name is Viper and this is my brother Instinct.
So when it comes to the stuff we want to achieve in AIRSOFT, basically we want to give everyone the chance to become the best version of themselves. Some people like to do it as a hobby just for shooting. Some people really like to do it as a training system. We want to give those people a chance because the knowledge isn't always easy available for people. And we were actually lucky that some former Special Forces contacted us to train with them. And then we got a chance to rent this beautiful ITF to do courses. In this way, we can also really teach the people in real life how to do certain stuff and to give them pinpoints on what they should change or improve.
The setup of such a day is that you will firstly gain some theoretical knowledge on the basics of CQB, for example, and then you will start applying it step by step. And at last there is also a part where you will actually do force on force, where you apply this stuff against each other, and then you will see the benefit of what this actually brings towards your skill level when it comes to shooting and the other stuff.
All right, so let's dive into what the training day was like. So we start the day off with some basic CQB theory, and then from there we each had a baseline test done just to determine where everybody is with their skill level so that the instructor can tailor the course to the group. This was just each of us moving through the training facilities rooms and clearing it the best way we would know how. After that was a mix of practical and theory where we were learning different techniques and then applying them straight away. And then at the end of the day, we had force on force where we had to apply all the different techniques that we learned in multiple scenarios. I'll let one of the instructors now explain the kind of topics we covered in the course.
Okay, so first thing is general idea of what types of airsoft techniques you can use in an area, and then identifying the different types of rooms, the different types of entry points, center fed, corner fed, the different room shapes, L-shaped, box-shaped, small rooms, stuff like that. Then we'll work on individual entry level, meaning positioning on the door, slicing a pie, and making entry into a room with a 1 or 2 man team. Then opening doors inward or outward, or pull or push doors, and then some basic consideration regarding that. One level up from that, we're basically working on your optimal position when you enter the room. Where do I stand? Where do I turn? And then making movement from that position to the next room. We're trying to maximize the force on force, so you can also see it, impact wise. You're getting less hits on your body, you're making more hits on them, and that will, eventually in a game, an airsoft game, translate into more success with your team.
So now time for my thoughts on the course. Overall, I'm really glad we did it. Opie and I picked up quite a few new techniques that we've been implementing in our airsoft game. The most useful knowledge we picked up on the day, I would say, was moving through a CQB environment as a 2-man team, which is a situation that arises quite often with me and Opie since we're playing CQB together quite a bit. Other than that, I would say our favorite part was when we applied the stuff that we learned in a force and force situation. This was cool because we could see in action the stuff that we had learned earlier in the day. The training facility is actually modular, so every round, every scenario we would do, the room layout would be slightly different, and there would be walls where normally there were doors, etc. So that mixed in with the enemy players made for a lot of variables in between each scenario. And every time we would move through the facility, it would be different, and the enemies would be in totally different locations. So that was really cool. At the beginning of this video, I mentioned that I had had some doubts about whether these kinds of courses were worth doing if you're just an airsofter. My main concern was that a lot of the military doctrine is focusing on safety, the safety of the soldiers, since they're operating in life and death situations. So they tend to move a lot slower and more methodically. And my concern is that this might take away a bit of advantage in airsoft. The kind of things I'm talking about is, whether or not you're going to be using the safety, or, caring whether or not you flag your mates, as well as, considerations like, can I get shot through this wall? I mean, these are things that popped up during the course and I felt were, slightly a waste of time. But this is what the Recon Brothers had to say about that.
Actually, I would say I would agree with that. The thing is, you always get to learn a lot of stuff, but you always have to make it something of your own. So for example, we do it to train ourselves and to become better and eventually go to firearms. So for us, all these things are very important, even when it's airsoft, just to get the right mindset. But of course, if you're only doing airsoft and you don't care about shooting your buddy, because that's how most people think about it, then yeah, obviously you could drop these things, but from a perspective with firearms, that is absolutely a no-go.
So I definitely agree with the guys here. If you mix real steel and airsoft, you should definitely train those things and just make sure that the muscle memory regarding like safety and stuff is always spot on, because it could be very dangerous if you let that stuff slide in airsoft, and then when you have a real gun in your hands, that could end up being a disaster. One thing in particular was how to open and close doors without exposing yourself too much. That was taking the assumption that you could get shot through the door. And we spent quite a bit of time on this. And I think if you're purely an airsofter, a door is basically a bulletproof shield, and you should use it that way. What I would have liked is that the course be a bit more adapted to the airsoft player. And I think the main issue was that the participants on the course each had different goals and wanted different outcomes from it. So we had people like the Recon Bros who wanted to learn things properly so that they could apply it when they move over to real steel. But for me and Opie, we just wanted to better our airsoft game. So I think courses like this could definitely work, but they need to be tailored to one or the other. And if you try to do both, I think you both sides end up losing quite a bit. So in conclusion, Opie and I definitely learned a lot on the day. The course was also really enjoyable. The instructors were very professional, but also really cool, and had a wealth of knowledge that they were more than happy to share. I also want to thank the Recon Bros for their generosity in inviting us to do this course. They're great guys, and we definitely want to be doing some more collaborations with them in the future. That's it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please consider leaving a like or subscribing. And if you really want to support the channel, please consider becoming a member. Your support would be really much appreciated and will help us keep making cool content like this. Thanks guys, and see you on the next one.